let's see what I can demonstrate in episode 3. So in previous episode, we saw the project, we analyzed the code, and then we looked at certain features. So in this episode, I'm going to show the live application that I posted in Firebase. So this is the URL agentic network web.app. And let me demonstrate the features, and then I'll go to the go to the details of the applications, the backend functions, and then front-end features, what I did. So this is the home page, landing page. Agentic Network is the application name, which is targeted to create a professional network with agent-first approach. So it can create an agentic profile for you if you have a profile in this network, and it can allow agent to agent communication. So that is our target. So in this episode, I am going to show creating the profile, and then maybe in the next episode, we can see how do we create agents and the agents talking to agents. So this I hosted in Firebase. So now it has a login feature to create a, you can use your own profile that you can create with this agentic network, or sign in with Google or LinkedIn. So let me log in with my Google profile. There are some issues, we'll fix it. I think there are some issues on it. I'll do it in private window. Yeah, so it's signed in with Google. There are some glitches which I'll fix it later. So now we created a profile. It allowed me to log in with Google sign in. So now this is the dashboard. Once you log in, once you create a profile and agents, this will start becoming more powerful. Right now, I deployed the feature to create a profile. So update profile, and it will ask you to pick up a username, which will be used to view the profile. Similar to LinkedIn, I am creating a unique ID. If you try to use some name which is already there, it will validate to make it unique user ID. Let me fill the detail and then create a profile. All of this user interface I did not code manually. So it is all generated by Claude CLI. Yeah, so it saved a profile. So next we need to create a agent that we have not built the capability. So right now, if you look at all of this is happening live, it is not happening in my local desktop. So since I added a profile, it allows me to view profile. So this is the profile. So all the details that I have added, it is showing. So now if anybody is seeing this profile, if somebody wants to join agentic network, then they can create a profile and then send a connection request. Okay, so now let me go back to the dashboard. So now these features, the login feature and create profile, all that were created within an hour. So how did I create? So I leveraged Claude CLI. So let me explain the details now. So today morning I started requesting, maybe I'll show from the beginning. Yeah, so I asked to create, so initially I tried to get a profile detail automatically with LinkedIn. Looks like that needs a more permission to pull the data. You need to have a, organizational permission to LinkedIn. So initially I set up the authentication with LinkedIn. So it asked me to set up a company profile so that you can get a Auth setup. So I did not know about this. So it gave me the instructions. Okay, go to this particular location and create a company page, which I created a company page, company profile, and then I went to developer, LinkedIn developer, and then I set up a developer a developer profile for me. I added an application. Then I got the OAuth connect permission. All of that were guided by Claude CLI, what to do, where to do, and then get the uh, OAuth security keys, etc. configure in the environment. After that, my LinkedIn authentication login, LinkedIn sign in with LinkedIn worked. Okay, so it took maybe less than 30 minutes to complete this functionality. And then I have two functions now to sign in with Google and sign in with LinkedIn. And then I requested to create a profile. So initially I was trying to pull the data from LinkedIn, but it did not work. Then I fall back to the option to create the profile. So that's what you saw now. To create a profile, it had a three-step, the basic information, experience, and education details. All of that were saved into the database. So now let me show that. So now this is our database. When a user logs in, the user profile is created. So now the new profile that I created is RafiMD2. So this is the profile it got created. And as I added the details of experience, it is saved into the user profile. And whatever the headline I have given and the skills that I have given, all of that are captured into the user profile, which is rendered into the view profile. So you have fully working application, the UI, and the database to capture the detail, and the cloud function to do any backend APIs. So now you can be a full stack developer and you who can leverage AI to build any of the functionality. And whenever you build, it will also tell you, okay, now you need to build either the backend, the functions, and then deploy. So when it says you can open another command prompt, normally I don't allow that to deploy, but I allow Claude CLI to build because it can find out any errors and it can fix it. But deploy I do manually. So how do I do? So Cloud Firebase deploy only functions will deploy only the functions, not the front end. If I make any changes in the cloud functions, then I'll come here and then deploy. But build, I will give permission to Claude CLI to build it. So now here, if you see, it is deploying the functions. There are 4 functions: LinkedIn auth, LinkedIn callback, process agent message, create agent from profile, analyze agent action. Okay, so now agent part we have not touched it. We'll come to that. And similarly, when I want to deploy the front end, so similar to same npm is used, the JavaScript, TypeScript is used for front end and back end. So I'll build the front end npm run build, and I'll deploy that as a hosting, Firebase hosting. If you want to run it in the local environment, you can use this simulators. Then you can run, no need to deploy to cloud to make it to test it. So you can run it locally also. Now this is deployed to agentic network web app, the front end. The cloud function is deployed to the Firebase cloud functions. Let me show those. So hosting application is this agentic network web app. Functions are deployed here. So you can choose whichever region you want to deploy. Right now I choose an US Central. So these are all deployed. So when you click, so it's a end-to-end integrated functionality. So now the next feature that I'll develop is building an agent. For that, I am planning to go with MCP servers. So MCP server is the standard way to communicate between agents. So I'll build certain tools which will allow any agent to front end handling the conversation, whether it is a message or whether it is a connection request or building a request or whatever it is. So I will build that gradually. So right now in this episode, I want to tell you that how quickly you can build an application, leaving the agentic part aside. Yeah, web application with a end-to-end with a full stack knowledge, without deep knowledge, without having a UI developer or UX designer or a backend designer, how quickly you can build as a AI engineer. So this is the third episode. The previously we spent an half an hour in episode 1 and 1 hour in episode 2, and this episode before starting I spent 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So totally if you look at 1 half an hour plus 1 hour plus 1.5 hour, 3 hours, you launched an application with basic MEP functionality to create profile. So that is the speed at which you can develop. So now I'll show you a little bit of details about the project. Before we did not look at the code in detail. Yeah, so I have set up a So I set up a plugin called CodeWiz. So it will measure how many lines of code are there. So look at the details. So it's overall it became 19,000 lines of code. Within that 18,000 is code and documents, etc. Certain commands, 162 lines of comment. So if we look at front end is having 12,000 lines of code and functions having 3,400 lines of code. Okay, so now what are the technologies it coded? So basically JSON, I don't know how much, why that much JSON is there, we'll see. Okay, TypeScript 2,200 lines of code. Markdown, this could be a documentation .md files, so architecture.md file, features.md file, readme.md file. So all of them are generated. So now if you want to manually write this 19,000 lines of code, whether it is .md file documentation or the TypeScript code, it will take longer time. Okay, so that is the beauty of generating with AI, and it generates very perfect functionality, right, without any manual much error. So the error rate is very low. I would say 95% it generates perfectly. So if I need to understand the integration of LinkedIn and then do exploring that capability itself will take for me a few days. And then I need to code knowing the API, knowing the Auth function, etc. So all of that is inbuilt. You don't need to explore. AI will explore very quickly, rapidly, and build it. Okay, so now that is the rapidness that I'm talking about, and it organizes very properly, right? If you see, it builds certain components. It will build proper components and then it will use in the pages. So it has a proper planning dashboard module, profile module, authentication module. So typically a developer, human developer doesn't pay too much detail until otherwise he's a very seasoned developer. Okay. So now what I will be doing in next episode, I will start building the agents. What I mean is right now we built the profile setup. The next we need to configure agents so that Yes, your profile part is ready. Now, if we have agents and if we have two profiles, both are having agents, then maybe I'll create one profile as a HR agent, or one more builder agent, one more I'll create few variations of profile, and each agent can communicate autonomously with the other agents. So then we'll see how that comes up. So right now our basic profile is set up. So you can come to agentic network and set up a profile, and later on, as the next features are getting rolled out, you can set up the agents, and then agents can talk to each other to help you to maintain the professional network with agent first approach. So now this link is available for you. So anyone can go and create a profile. And as I add more feature, it will become agentic first approach for a professional network. So I'll add more feature gradually in each episode and make this agentic network more powerful. Yeah. So if you have any question, feel free to post messages in LinkedIn. I will respond to those. And if anybody want to, if anyone is interested to be part of this building next feature, please let me know. Maybe I can add few members if I know them well, so that you can see how do I develop that feature. I can pull you in for one of the episode. You can be an observer and listener more closely. And if you have any question, you can also ask, and you will learn more how to become a empowered engineer. So yeah, so feel free to ask any question in LinkedIn messages under GenAI Mentor. And if you want to join to see more closely how do I build so quickly, generating 5,000 lines of code in an hour, let me know. Maybe gradually I'll pull in few guys so that you also get more closer experience. Thank you. Have a good day. See you in next episode.